Hey man, this is Adrian Gomez. Thanks so much for sending these in. We're gonna look at a couple of one from the side view, and this is out of your back leg, your 112 degree squat. I'd like to see you squat a little bit lower. I think you could get into that 96 range by squatting 2 or 3 more inches, making sure that your butt goes behind your heel in that direction. Make sure your hip flies back. Don't let your knee go forward, but you're doing a pretty good job. So right here, you see this front leg. Your hips are open, and what I'd like you to do is close your hips a little bit. Point your butt towards your target, and your front knee is delayed in this position, because right now you can't squat as well as you should be. So let's look at your front knee. So so power to the back leg is one weakness. This is a 20 degree internally rotated front knee. So you plant your front leg inward towards your front toe, and your knee comes out. Has to go left in order for it to be over the ankle. And what that does is it slows your hips down, so it doesn't allow your hips to rotate until that knee gets over that ankle. So that's we have drills to fix that weakness online. Internally rotated front knee. Then we get into our at plant foot. This angle is kind of important because it tells us how far you're going. 109 degrees isn't bad. It's not bad. That's pretty good. You're throwing with your lower half pretty well. And which brings us into our last one, which is before you throw, you're 133 degrees, which is not bad. That's pretty good. So out of the lower body, the weakness, power to the back leg. Your back leg squat needs to be lower. Your front leg, when you're throwing off a mound, your butt needs to lead and not your knee. Because right now your knee and your front leg are leading and not your butt. Your hand's a little bit late out of the glove as well. And right here, you come up and down and your glove doesn't move. So what I'd like to see is some kind of up or down movement. And that'll help you kind of get some rhythm in the upper body. Because you have rhythm in your lower body, but not in your upper body right now. So, and then your internally rotated front knee. So part of the back leg, point your butt towards your target. Your knee needs to be this way. So that's one. 1, 2, 3 things we got to work on. Now we're going to look at posture. Posture at ball release. You're what we call a B posture. This would be A, straight up and down, B and C out the side. So what that means is I don't want you to fall. I don't think you have an issue with this. Your head doesn't move a ton. But you need to go to this angle. You need to stay back into that because that's where you throw from. And right now your hips coming up and not through, and we'll talk about that later. But as far as your posture goes, you're a B posture, and you're going to rotate around that. We're going to get into stacking now. Stacking, we need to make sure that your upper body, your head, stays over that rubber. Knee needs to squat better, which will help a lot. And your upper body needs to rotate back in that position. And like I said, so your stacking needs some improvement. Like I said, on our 212athlete.com, our online training, The reason why what we do is different is because I've designed drills to fix these weaknesses that I'm diagnosing right now, and will increase velocity. So your shoulder blade doesn't pinch at the right time because you're holding onto that glove a little bit too long. So let's get into front glove. Front glove, let's see what happens. As you come out, front glove looks pretty good right there. And I drop straight down, so there's no continuation of the rotation. Your arm stops. I don't see your left arm coming through. What I'd like to see is this front glove go around that side, and that shoulder blade to pinch. And that's what we don't see out of this. On the left side, you see that this shoulder blade right here is not engaged. And so that front glove is a huge issue. That's a huge rotational problem that you can fix within just a few short drills, and pound that through. Part of it comes with strength in the shoulder blades, has everything to do with the bands that we use, the weighted balls that we use. That's going to help a ton. So front glove, right here we have, trying to take a measurement off of, so we have a little bit of an elevated elbow. Your elbow right here is fine. I'll draw a line on there. And then all of a sudden as you throw, your elbow goes up to drive through. And that's what we want to do, is stay on that line back here and drive through. You can look at the same thing with your hips. Your hips come up and not through. So that has a lot to do with that front glove and that front knee. People don't look at that stuff when they do mechanical stuff, and that's why I've diagnosed these things, and it just works because all these things are interconnected and they're measurables that we can get. So definitely high elbow. You have a high elbow, which is an issue, and there's some momentum drills that we can do to fix that and to speed everything up so that your hips can rotate through and your chest can rotate through as well on that line. It's just going to help you rotate in a completely different way. So that definitely needs to happen. Right here at release point, your chest extension is really high, and this is part of the reason why I think you can increase velocity quickly. You're at 30 degrees, and where I think you should be is 40 to 48 degrees. So your chest needs to make it down to that line. What that means is this knee needs to solidify quickly so that your chest can drive through. Your back leg stays straight so you're able to get on this line. So the chest is supported by the leg, and it's also supported by the front leg. So if the front knee isn't stabilized, then the back leg doesn't want to stabilize, and the chest isn't where it needs to be. So you can throw with your body, you can throw with your core. So that chest extension is a big problem that you will have. Part of that might be inflexibility in your hamstrings, although you do a pretty good job right there. The finish is good. We just want to make sure that your chest, this chest, gets over that front foot a little bit better through the ball. Part of that release point might play into how late you are out of the glove. You're pretty late out of the glove into that scap load, because you should already be up and throwing, and right here you should be driving forward with your chest, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames before you throw the ball. So I want to speed that up quite a bit with that. The last one is what we call an arm fly out, and what's happening is you have maximum layback here, and then you fly out. I'd like to minimize that, by 3 or 4 inches. What that will do is it will keep your elbow bent instead of your arm being so straight, and we're able to push through that ball a little bit faster. The better we do that, the harder we throw. Part of the reason issue is high elbow, chest extension, and your front glove has an issue as well. So we clean all those things up, and all of a sudden you're able to rotate a lot better. So, we'll pick one thing at a time. Power to the back leg is a weakness. Internally rotated front knee, chest extension, front glove, high elbow, and arm fly out. Those are the 5 weaknesses I think that if we focused on, you'd be able to increase about 5-6 miles an hour in about 2 months. If you're on our online program and doing our drills and doing our bands and doing the balls and doing all of that stuff. So please let me know if I can help in any way. And we'll next steps, we'll continue to move through this. Thank you.